I'm still live, and today I will be going to every single resort at Walt Disney World, and here are the rules. There are 33 resorts on property that I need to visit, and because that wasn't hard enough, I will also be visiting all 4 parks in Disney Springs. To officially see a resort, I must visit the lobby and take a picture with its main icon, the building or thing that best represents the resort. If there are multiple main icons, I must take a picture with all of them, and if I do not know the icon ahead of time, which is the case for most of these since I've only been to like 2 of the resorts, I need to ask a cast member and abide by whatever they say. To officially see a park, I need to either ride a ride, eat a meal, or meet a character. Finally, I can only take official Walt Disney World transportation, so monorails, boats, the Skyliner, and many, many buses. Will I be able to go to all 38 locations before midnight? Let's find out. Alright, as you can probably tell, I have made it to Animal Kingdom, and I am rushing immediately to Expedition Everest so I can get the one thing I need to do at this park out of the way, and honestly, I like this park, but leave as quickly as possible so I can get to all of the other resorts I need to do today. But yeah, when I checked a few minutes ago, Everest was just at a 10-minute wait, so I'm gonna quickly rush onto that and then head straight off to the Animal Kingdom Lodge area. Alright, here we go. We can see it dramatically coming into view. Expedition Everest. Here we go. Alright, well that's a ride of Expedition Everest in the books. I'm hoping you're not expecting any footage of it because I do not want to drop my phone on that ride. However, that also means that in about 20 minutes, Animal Kingdom is complete. Only 37 more places to go today. Alright, I don't think I've ever left a park so early, but now it's time to go quickly get a bus to the Animal Kingdom Lodge area to hit our first 3 resorts. We've done Animal Kingdom in and out in about 20 minutes, although I'm hoping that the resorts will be a little bit faster than that. I'm thinking this will be the quickest park we do today. And by we, I mean me, because I'm just here doing this. Oh my God. Alright, we have made it out. Now I'm headed out, gonna walk through the security exit, and then I'm going to head straight to the buses to the Animal Kingdom Lodge area. There's 3 resorts to hit over there. I think the main Animal Kingdom Lodge, Jambo House, and Kidani Village, I believe it's pronounced. Yeah, so let's see if we can do that. All right, the bus stop to Animal Kingdom Lodge is down the way that I'm walking, and I've planned this route so I need to take as few buses as possible. I think I'll need to do 7 throughout this entire thing. However, a lot of those are near the beginning because things are a little bit closer together as we get closer to the Hollywood Studios, Epcot, Magic Kingdom area. All right, we are now at resort number 1, Kidani Village, and I was the only person on that bus from Animal Kingdom, and I felt a little bit awkward. All right, but now here, as per the rules, we have to enter the lobby, and we have to take a picture with the main icon of this area, which I'm thinking might just be this main building, but I'm gonna ask inside anyway. All right, I'm pretty sure that the lobby is just the main icon, so I'm gonna get my selfie now. All right, that was very awkward. All right, Kidani Village is officially done. She said that main window looking out onto the savannah area with all the animals was the main icon, and I would agree, it was very cool. But I've seen the lobby, I've seen for the main icon, and now I'm headed to, there we go, Jambo House. That's our next resort to get for this very, very, very stupid challenge. But yes, I'm immediately already glad that I did this. I never would have gone inside there, and I never would have seen that cool window with all of the animals. And now we're headed on to the next one, and I'm hoping that this will continue. I'm sure I will be just as chipper this entire video. I think I'm getting close. All right, so I think we're coming up on the main lobby entrance for the whole of Animal Kingdom Lodge, and then I don't know if Jambo House has its own lobby. We'll have to find out, but at the very least, we're getting 2 of them here. I think we're at the entrance. All right, well, I know that this window is the main icon of this resort, but I think that's Animal Kingdom Lodge actually complete. I still do not know about Jambo House. Okay, this isn't really part of the challenge at this point, but there's a little outdoor area and I do want to go out here. And here is the massive window we were looking out of earlier for context. This place is gigantic. All right, so slight confusion on my part. This whole big room is Jumbo House, and then the resort as a whole is the Animal Kingdom Lodge. That window, I would say, is the icon for Animal Kingdom Lodge, and this whole big lobby area is probably the icon for Jumbo House. There's even more down over here. This is, again, gigantic. All right, I doubt you can hear me because this music is sort of loud, but it's enough time looking at the cool stuff in Animal Kingdom Lodge. Time to take the bus back to Animal Kingdom and then get the buses to the All-Star Resorts, which is, I think, what I'm gonna hit next. All right, I'm now back at Animal Kingdom, but I'm not gonna be here for long. I'm literally just going across down that thing that I just filmed to go to the All-Star Resorts. There's 3 of them. There's All-Star Music, All-Star Movies, and All-Star Sports. And I need to go to all 3, but they are walkable between them, so should be fun. All right, we have made it to All-Star Music. I don't know what the icon of this one is specifically. I know, I think Sports has like helmets. I'll have to find that out. That last bus I was on was also completely empty, but I was able to talk to the bus driver a little bit, and he gave me a lot of good tips for the rest of this challenge. All right, well, now I'm here in the lobby, and I'm gonna take a look around to officially see it, and then try to find the icon for this one. Okay, this is looking like this is going to be the main kind of icon area. All right, you can't really see any of these in the background. I think I'm gonna walk by one of the big maracas and I'll count that, unless I ask a cast member and they tell me that there is something else as the main icon for this one. All right, here we go. This is the icon for All-Star Music. Awesome. Ooh, actually, you know what? That feels closer to what I'm looking for as an icon. Okay, I'm gonna take an awkward selfie by this one. I think that's gonna be All-Star Music Complete, unless I see some other thing that I feel like represents this one better. Maybe? I mean, I still have not asked a cast member because I have not really seen anybody around here who does not look busy. Yeah, I do have a bit of a problem. I'm at the middle of the 3. There's All-Star Sports, and then in the middle is All-Star Music, and then sort of the back is Movies. And I'm like, not sure which is the most efficient way to head to one of these, but I guess we'll figure it out, whichever one I think I happen upon quicker. All right, I'm now walking to the Movies Resort, and I'm officially starting to get worried. It's 9:55 at the moment, almost 10 o'clock, and I was thinking we were making good progress, and then it dawned on me that like 9:05 was when I entered the Animal Kingdom Lodge Jumbo House, and I'm like, that's not a great ratio, right? 40-something minutes between the resorts. I got here about 9:45. That's not good, and I think if I maintain this pace, we could be in trouble. I'm now headed to the Movies one. I can tell from the branding up ahead. And then I'm gonna head back towards the front to get Sports, which felt like the most efficient way to do this for going to the middle one. I guess we'll just have to see. Okay, I've officially entered the All-Star Movies area, but I've entered from like way at the back, so a weird area. So I still have to make my way back around to the lobby. And then I just spoke to a cast member who says, in his opinion, the icon of this one would be the Fantasia pool. So unless I see something that just like super obviously screams, this is the main thing, I'm gonna count the Fantasia pool and I'm gonna get a picture over by it. And I'm also curious what the Fantasia pool is. I, again, have never been to any of these places. You know, the scale of this continues to impress me here. Books, they say Fantasia on them. Okay, this thing over here looks very icon-y. I think I'm gonna get a selfie by it, and then if the Fantasia pool looks better, I'll do that instead. The sun is directly in my eyes here, but resort number 5, All-Star Movies. Here we go. Okay, I still need to go to the lobby and up here. That thing is a little bit creepy, but this is cool. Oh my gosh, okay. Look at that. Sorcerer Mickey. I would say actually that's probably a better icon. Okay, there's a couple giant Dalmatians over here from, you guessed it, hit movie 101 Dalmatians. I don't know if there's 101, I doubt it, but I'm not gonna take the time to count because I'm on a bit of a time crunch. However, I am going to say that that pool does probably make the most sense of the icon. I should have listened to the cast member from the very beginning. I'm gonna take my official icon selfie by it, and then the lobby's right here as well. So that makes it nice and convenient. Okay, I'm gonna take my selfie over here. You can barely see Mickey in the background, but I'll point my hand at him. All right, awesome. And I just remembered a rule that I set for myself, which is that if there's multiple icons, I need to take a picture with all of them. And I already got the car one, and I just remembered this rule. I don't think the music had that many, to be honest. I think it was just the ones that I got pictures by would be arguably those drums and the pool area. But this one, from looking at the little map, clearly has multiple. So I am going to, in fact, go over to take a picture by the Dalmatians. But first, I'm headed up over to here, which is apparently a Toy Story area. Yeah, because I want to see all of these resorts, attempting to see them to the fullest. So I'm gonna adhere to that rule that I set for myself. Here we go. That's cool. I love the army men from Toy Story. However, the icon's gonna be in there. Hello, RC. But there in the background, we can see Woody, and then I think, yep, oh, there we go. There's Buzz. Okay, first icon. Hello, Buzz. I was hanging out with him a couple days ago. And now, the other one over here. Alrighty, now for the lobby. Okay, this looks pretty similar to the last one, and it's very loud. I'm gonna go around this corner, and then I'm headed back over to the Dalmatians to get the last icon, and then I can go over to sports. Okay, great, now we're done, and I'm getting out of here as quickly as possible because I am on such a time crunch still. All right, I'm here at the Dalmatians. Here we go, awkward selfie time. Okay, finally, All-Star Movies is complete. I'm calling it there. We can head over to sports now, and then we'll be done with the All-Star area. This one took longer than I was expecting, I'll be honest. Okay, despite what I said earlier, I did actually count the dogs that are here, and I do believe, my count could be off. I do believe there are 101 of them. Man, that Disney attention to detail really showing up here. All right, I'm charging my phone, so I don't have my microphone on. However, we have made it to All-Star Sports. I believe that those helmets are gonna be our icon over there. All right, this main field and these helmets are definitely going to count. Here, awkward selfie number 6. I think this is the 6th resort, yeah. Okay, great, we've gotten another one in the books. All right, again, no microphone since I'm charging my phone, but we're gonna head through the lobby to get to the bus stop, and then this resort will officially be done. Okay, you can probably barely hear me, but I'm now headed back to Animal Kingdom for the final time today to get on a bus to Coronado Springs, which is a very isolated resort. Get that out of the way, and then I can enter the Hollywood Studios Skyliner Epcot area. All right, I just got off the bus. We have now made it to Coronado Springs. It is just before 11 o'clock, and this one is the most isolated of any of the resorts. There's nothing else really in this area. There's no other additional transportation to get here, and as you can see, it looks cool. However, I don't really know anything about this resort, so I don't know what the icon is. I definitely will need to ask. I'm thinking it could just be that building that's right up there, but I guess I'll have to find out and ask. I know there's like a big lake area, the Coronado Spring in the Coronado Springs area. I'm wondering if it's that. I guess we will find out when we, as usual, ask the cast member. Oh, okay, wow, this one is also massive. You can see this just kind of goes on forever. You can see the massive Coronado Spring there in the middle. I keep calling it the Coronado Spring. I doubt it's called that. So yeah, the lake sort of behind me here. But when I spoke to the cast member, she said the icon is unequivocally the big tower behind me. So that is what I'm going to take my awkward selfie with. Here we go. All right, and I believe that's Coronado Springs done. However, I did just kind of walk in, look at the main building, and then sort of leave, which is not really in the spirit of this challenge, I would not say. So I am going to walk just to like a little bridge that's over there, just so I can get a slightly different view of this main area, because this thing is so massive, I definitely can't see the full thing, but I don't just want to walk in the main building, because the tower is where the lobby is, and then leave. It doesn't feel like I've seen it, I guess. Okay, great, I've made it to the bridge thingy next to me. More of that spring next to me as well. I would say I'm officially counting it. I'm officially counting this as having seen it, and then I'm just gonna walk down to the end of this area, and then I'm going to head back. So next up that we are visiting is Hollywood Studios, and that whole super cluster over there is connected by the Skyliner, which is like a gondola between a lot of these, and that is some very helpful transportation. So that area, we're not going to need to take a bus for a little while, and since we're going directly to a park, we can just take a bus straight from Coronado Springs to Hollywood Studios, as opposed to needing to stop at a park when we go between resorts. I think the hard, isolated bus portion of this challenge is mostly complete. Because a lot of the other areas that we're going to is like connected by the monorail or the Skyliner, so, or a boat in the Disney Springs case, although I might take a bus because it's faster. But yeah, so I think we're out of the early game, I would say, at the very least. This is resort number, oh God, what is this? This is number 7. Resort number 7. Well, I'll do this with a background. I'm calling Coronado Springs Resort number 7. It is complete. All right, I'm now going to get on the bus to Hollywood Studios. All right, I've now made it here successfully to Hollywood Studios, which is the park I'm most familiar with. This is the one that I work at primarily. This is where I've gone quite a few times. So yeah, I'm not gonna spend a ton of time here. I'm just going to eat a meal, which is one of the qualifying events for being at a park. I'm going to eat at Backlot Express just down this way. And then I will be done with Hollywood Studios and I can head off to the Skyliner Resort section. You know, it's kind of weird. I'm getting the strangest sense of deja vu as I walk over to this area. I mean, yeah, I've been to Backlot. I've been there before. Oh no, not again. No, not again. I'm just kidding, I do still love that ride. And I was going to ride it if I was not getting a meal here, but I don't really have the time to because it's like a 25-minute wait. But I do still love Star Tours despite having ridden it 47 times. And now whenever I go, there's like a 50-50 shot that I get Rebel Spy because usually the cast members there will recognize me as the crazy guy who did Star Tours 47 times, and then they will give me Rebel Spy. So it's like a kind of a fun thing that I get to do over there. But yeah, I'm gonna pick up my food and eat now. I'll check back in when I'm done with Hollywood Studios. All right, I'm now exiting Hollywood Studios, having completed my required task of one meal, and as much as I would love to stay here and do many of the things here, like seeing the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular, or do Rise of the Resistance, or many of the other things, we must soldier on with our very ridiculous quest here. However, we are about to enter the Skyliner Epcot Super Cluster. There's like at least a dozen resorts, I want to say, all kind of within the same area, and we do not need to take a bus to visit any of them, fortunately, which is nice. And the Skyliner gets us access to a lot of those, and that's where I'm gonna head next. You know what? Slight change of plan. I was going to take the Skyliner and do Caribbean Beach and Pop Century and Art of Animation and all of those resorts right over there. However, I'm actually gonna take the walking path that is just up ahead, and I'll show in a minute, straight to Epcot. And then I'm gonna do all the resorts that are kind of on the way over there, and that'll get a bunch of them out of the way. It'll also mean I don't need to backtrack to get them again. I'll pop into Epcot, do the one ride or whatever I need to do over there, and then I'll come back, do all the Skyliner resorts, and then I'll take the bus from here. And then I think that'll be the most efficient route. I don't think I'll need to really backtrack, whereas before I definitely would have needed to backtrack quite a bit. I've never come this way before. It feels like I'm somewhere that I shouldn't. It's just sort of a random path on the water, and if the Tower of Terror was not in the background, you would not even know where we are. So in this area, the reason that I'm knocking this out first, there are 6 resorts. There's the Boardwalk Yacht Club, Beach Club, the 2 Swan and Dolphins, and then Boardwalk has a separate area, the Boardwalk Villas, all of which are on my list of things that I need to do. So we're gonna knock out as many here as we did in the first few hours, and then we're gonna go get the Skyliner ones, and then I think we'll be like halfway. This is starting to feel more doable again, at the very least, which is nice. And then again, here's what I mean. This path is gonna take us underneath that bridge. This does not feel necessarily official, but I know it is. It's interesting. And I think these are the only 2 parks you can feasibly walk between. And now I need to grab the camera. I felt so stupid doing that. All right, now, as this sign is helpfully pointing, we can see the next area right up ahead. That is the Swan Hotel, and then just beyond that, there's, again, another like super cluster with a bunch of them. And then here's the boat that leads from Studios to Epcot. The Skyliner station is right by that Epcot entrance called the International Gateway. And that's between the Boardwalk and I think the Beach Club. So I believe that's gonna be the most efficient, and then we can circle back, do Riviera, Caribbean Beach, Pop Century, and Art of Animation. And then we should have this area roughly. Yeah, again, we can see up here, this is the Dolphin, and then that is the Swan over there. But we're headed to the Boardwalk, which is right here, but the entrance is like down this path and a little bit up ahead. Okay, here we go. This is sort of what I was talking about. So right there in the background, just slightly obscured by those trees, is what's called the Epcot Ball, or Spaceship Earth is the technical name for that ride. And then here is where we're going. This whole thing is the Boardwalk Inn. And then there's also the Boardwalk Villas, which I don't actually immediately know where it is. And then we're headed, again, back through the Swan and Dolphin, which is over there. Over yonder, to use an expression no one's used in 40 years. On this side is the Yacht and Beach Club, which we are headed to next. This is probably the Boardwalk Villas over here. And then the big white building is probably the Boardwalk Inn, I'm thinking. But again, I will sort of want to get some kind of idea from a cast member. And also, don't super know what the icon is. I would think for the Boardwalk, it's just going to be the main building. And probably the same for the villas, because this area is very pretty. It's very beautiful over here. So thinking it's going to be this that we're going to be getting the selfie in front of. But I don't know if Boardwalk Villas has its own lobby. So we also need to find out about that. Okay, the lobby should be just through this building. For context, that's where the water is. I have not walked very far. Hi, would you mind if I ask you a couple questions? So it's going to sound a little crazy. So is this the lobby for the Boardwalk Inn?
It's for both.
For both. Okay, the lobby works for both. Okay. All right, and I'm going to talk quieter because there's a lot of people here. This lobby serves for both the Boardwalk Inn and the Boardwalk Villas. So this will count for both of them, and I'll show it here in just a second. Okay, so the going to the lobby part of our mission is complete. However, the seeing the icon part is not. And the cast member said just the Boardwalk is sort of generally the icon. And that doesn't shock me, you know it is called the Boardwalk. So this kind of area that I'm in right now, I'm gonna go up to where the water is and then take my awkward selfie for the Boardwalk Inn over here. And then I will do the villas over here. And this is the villas. This is the Boardwalk Inn. My predictions for this one, for once, were correct about what it actually is. All right, time for the next awkward selfie. This is the Boardwalk Inn lobby behind me. Okay, we have officially seen the Boardwalk Inn. Now I'm gonna go do that over at the Villas one. All right, then here we go. This area behind me, you can see the Boardwalk sign way up there, is going to do for the Boardwalk Villas awkward selfie that I'm getting over here. All right. All right, awesome. Another one in the books. That is 8 and 9 done pretty quickly, honestly. I've been to this one before a little bit, so that kind of helped. I sort of knew where I was going. Yes, this one is very pretty. Of the ones I've seen so far, this one is probably my favorite, if I could choose to stay at one. I think this is also the only deluxe one we've been to so far. No. Animal Kingdom Lodge was also technically deluxe. So yeah, we'll count that as well. This was very cool. On to the next one, which is Swan and Dolphin. We're gonna work our way around the little circuit over there. Wow, I probably should have entered from this way. That would have been a good entrance. However, over here, we can see the Dolphin and then the Swan. And I'm going to wager a guess that this is the icon and that is the icon. However, I'm not 100% sure yet. There's like that cool thing up ahead. However, just in case, I am going to take my awkward selfies from here. That way I don't need to come all the way back out here. And again, I'm pretty confident that those are the icons for this one, but I still need to see the lobby anyway, so I still need to go inside. And also, as for the reason that I counted these two as Disney resorts, but I skipped the Four Seasons, you can see the boat does go to here. It's sort of generally in the area of a lot of other Disney resorts. They do, again, they're not official, but they are third party. Disney obviously let them be here, but it's like, they feel pretty close. So I'm just gonna count them again. They're right here, so it's not that far out of my way to go. But yeah, I think that gives a bit of an indication as to why I picked these. Ooh, there's water up in the clamshell. All right, we're going to enter the Swan first. You can see them a little bit up there. And gonna check out this lobby. I don't know how similar these are gonna be. I'm sure that they're connected in some way. Yeah, here we go. I'm the only one in this big room, and it feels a little weird. Oh, stormtroopers. Okay, well that officially marks the Swan Resort complete. I did ask the concierge and she said unequivocally, yes, the swans on the outside are the main icon. And now I'm headed just across here to go to the Dolphin. This is a cool entrance, and I will say, these are very cool, right? Like there's swan boats over there. There's a little beach. This is cool. That is cool. However, when I went inside, I will say, it very much did feel different. There was something missing. It did not quite feel like a Disney resort, which I didn't I don't know if I didn't expect that, but I would say I kind of noticed the difference. It did just sort of feel like its own hotel, but a very nice one, to be clear, a very nice one. All right, well, I'm gonna assume, unless this one has a secret giant statue hidden in the middle, that these things are going to be the main icon. By the way, they do not look like dolphins. These look like regular fish. I don't know why they're like representing it, but yeah, we're gonna head in here, take a look at the lobby. I'll confirm with one of the employees in here. I don't think they're technically cast members, and we'll find out. But I believe just gonna go and see the lobby, and then we should be done. Okay, you know what? This is cool. They have a giant astromech, although this feels like something obviously Disney just put in here, but I am absolutely going to take a picture with this guy. Okay, yeah, I just asked somebody and it was the same answer. Yes, obviously the the big dolphin slash fish thingy is the main icon. But yeah, I'm leaving now. This one feels the same way. Again, it's very nice inside. Just does not quite have that Disney touch, I guess, because again, it's not a Disney resort. Although I will say, seeing that astromech was very cool. I'm looking at it again. I almost want to take a picture a second time. It looks fun. Okay, at some point I definitely miscounted because that was resort number 12. I thought that was number 10. You know what? I feel a little bit better. We're over a third of the way through, which feels good at the very least. And then we're going to get 3 more pretty easily. We're going to get Yacht Club, Beach Club, Resort, and then Beach Club Villas over there. All right, so we're walking up to the Yacht Club right now. And as you can see, it's a little bit under construction. I don't think it'll take away from too much of the overall experience. It's just this building, these 2 buildings right there. First one's been under construction so far, which is not bad for 13 resorts. Yeah, so we're gonna take a look over here, and then I think I see the Beach Club a little bit off the way. Actually, I think that one's a little bit under construction too. Yeah, but I don't know where the lobby is. Again, I've never been to this one, so we will have to find out. So this is the Yacht Club, and then down there with like the ship and stuff, I believe that is the Beach Club. And then again, way out there, that's the boardwalk where we just were. I'm gonna assume the lobby is up here, I would guess. It's a nice tree, a nice big tree. And then I think you can kind of see it moving behind this. There's a little windmill. I'm sure I'll show it as I get closer. Yeah, so I'm gonna go up here, see the lobby. I would guess the windmill would be the icon maybe, but we will find out. I'm not gonna show it, but the pool here at the Yacht Club is pretty much far and away the most crowded pool that we've seen so far on this adventure. Ooh, this actually moves. That surprised me. Okay, I believe this may be another multi-icon resort. There is that globe in the front. That was what the cast member said was the main icon. So I'm gonna go take my awkward selfie by that, and then also the lighthouse that's in the background. I'm also gonna do that just to stay safe. Make sure I get the icon for this one. All right, here we go. All right, that is another awkward selfie with an icon in the books, and I'm going to do the lighthouse before I officially mark the 13th resort as complete. And actually, one more quick thing I'd like to add. I was starting to get worried that like, oh, are all these resorts around this area just kind of be like the boardwalk? But no, that one was clearly a yacht club. It like had a ton of nautical theming inside. It was very cool, and I really appreciate that distinction was made there. And yeah, that was very impressive. I'm continuously absolutely very impressed by Disney because, you know, I work for them and want to continue working for them. But it's very nice to see that attention to detail pretty much everywhere you go. All right, and again, I don't know if this one is specifically part of the yacht club. I'm gonna get an awkward selfie with it anyway. All right, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna officially mark the Yacht Club resort number 13 complete for today. All right, this area is very busy, but I have arrived here at the Beach Club, and I'm gonna assume that the ship that I'm directly in front of right here is going to be the icon. So I'm going to pre-do my awkward selfie before asking a cast member, but again, pretty sure it's gonna be this. Okay, let's go into the lobby and make sure, but again, pretty certain that's gonna be the icon of this one. And I don't really know where to go for the lobby. Also, upon further inspection, the windmill that I saw earlier is part of the Beach Club. And I was like, starting to wonder why that wasn't the icon for Yacht Club, but nope. I think it's I believe that's part of Beach Club. And then as a reminder, because I just forgot, this one is technically 2 resorts. There's the main Beach Club, and then there's Beach Club Villas, which will have the same lobby. I just need to get another icon picture next to the villas, wherever those may be. I actually don't know. I was pretty confident where they were for Boardwalk. I don't know where they are immediately for this one, but we will find out inside. Okay, Beach Club Resort number 14, the Love Flounder, is officially done. The shipwreck is in fact the icon. I'm headed over to Beach Club Villas now, and the cast member spoke to didn't immediately know what the icon necessarily would be, so I guess I'm just going to sort of figure it out as I go along a little bit.
Everybody except for you has icon.
Okay, and that's the little lobby area for Beach Club Villas done, and then the icon we need to take a picture with is right up here. It is Ariel, selfie number 15. So that is officially Beach Club Villas Resort number 15 all completed. And that also means that this whole little resort area in the Boardwalk by Epcot is also complete, except for Epcot itself, which is going to be our next stop. And then we'll Skyliner back and then hit Riviera, Caribbean Beach, Pop Century, Art of Animation, all of the ones sort of on the Skyliner route. So yeah, the Beach Club was really cool to see inside of. However, just one tiny little complaint. Feels like the perfect opportunity for some Beach Boys music. Okay, I've gotten my little plug in there for the Beach Boys. Now headed over, as I said in the last clip, just over to Epcot, and then I need to figure out a ride to do there. There is a ride that is close by to the entrance and usually has a pretty short wait. It is also my least favorite ride in Epcot, but I'll let you know when I get in there. All right, so up there is the Skyliner, and then that's the station we're gonna take heading into Epcot now. This is the France Pavilion. I'm hoping to do Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. I can sometimes go through the lightning lane on that since my roommate works there. However, if I can't, I'll need to figure something else out. There's a ride, again, as I mentioned, that has a pretty low wait time, but I don't super want to do. But we'll figure it out once we get in there. All right, I am now in the experimental prototype community of tomorrow, and the nerdiest way to say Epcot, and I'm headed over to the France Pavilion right now. Hopefully I can do Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, or else I'll need to figure out another plan and improvise. I don't want to spend a ton of time in any of the parks because, again, it's about going to all the resorts, but the parks are important for that, you know, hitting everything. So we'll figure it out.
Bonsoir et bienvenue à Paris, la ville lumière. Poussez-vous de là! Dépêchez-vous! Pas ici! Go! Go!
All right, that's Remy's Ratatouille Adventure complete, and with that also means Epcot is complete. And I did not realize until I was in line for Lightning Lane that, you know, Linguini from Ratatouille bit. Yeah, I'm not really living that down, am I? All right, well, we can now exit Epcot, and fortunately, this is literally the closest attraction to the International Gateway, and we can get on the Skyliner, and then we can make our way back to all of the resorts on that route. We're making some real progress now, I feel like.
Thank you. Para su seguridad, por favor, manténganse
At Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort. We hope you enjoyed your visit to Epcot and World Showcase. Did you learn how to say hello in a different language?
All right, I just got off the Skyliner. I didn't record in there because there were a couple of other people, but I'm now at the Riviera Resort, which I've walked past once. However, I've heard that this is a very nice area, so I'm quite excited to take a look around. I know there's Topolino's Terrace here. I believe that's character dining, which again, I'm a character attendant, so theoretically I could work there. Yeah, I've heard that one's good, but again, I'm not really stopping and doing anything here. I'm just here to see the main icon in the lobby. Although, as we're entering, this does look very cool. Oh my goodness. This is way larger out here than I thought it would be. Okay, just like with all the resorts, I don't really know where I'm going, but I am gonna head down to the water just a little bit because I think there's a bit of a walking path down this way. That over there is Caribbean Beach. That's where we're headed next. But for now, we are here at the Riviera. I think this is like vaguely European. That's what they said on the Skyliner. So we'll see. Oh, actually, I think that's Caribbean Beach right there as well. This might be walkable. I might just walk through Caribbean Beach to get to the Skyliner station because Skyliner's paused at the moment anyway. It usually starts back up pretty quickly. I might do that. Could be a long walk though. I think I'm gonna try to walk that because I think that'll be cooler. But in the meantime, we still have to see Riviera, still have to go to the lobby, still have to find out what the icon is, which I'm not really seeing anything that looks like an icon. Because I think that is part of Caribbean Beach, that thing. But like maybe just this whole outdoor area? I do not know. Well, we'll follow the usual procedure and just to ask a cast member inside. All right, I spoke to a cast member in the lobby and they said that the mosaic tiles would probably be the icon of this resort. And I think I saw them on the way and I think they were Tangled themed, but I did not point them out. But I guess we're gonna get to take a look at them. So this one is Tangled themed and then the other one is Peter Pan themed, but awkward selfie number, whatever we're on. All right, now I'm gonna go over to the Peter Pan one because remember the rule, multiple icons. I need to take a picture with both. London and then it flies on over to Neverland over there. Here we go again. All right, there we go. And then I'm also just gonna get one in front of this whole outdoor structure because this also feels very iconic, I guess, for two meanings of that word, or I guess the literal meaning of the word iconic, relating to an icon. And another very awkward selfie in the books. I think I'm gonna walk over to, that'd be a pretty long walk. Here, I'll show you what I'm debating here. Let me flip this around. Okay, so where I need to go, if we follow the Skyliner cars, is right there. However, I would need to go through all of that. Well, actually, wait a second. There's another path over here I had not previously noticed. Okay, I'm gonna walk through this way because I still have to get to Caribbean Beach regardless. I'm gonna walk along this direction. If the icon of this one, this is one of the most spread out resorts. So yeah, if the icon of the resort is somewhere in like that area I just showed, that is going to kill a lot of time. However, I don't know, I guess we'll figure it out as we go. Yeah, I'm just gonna walk down that way. I sure hope I'm correct about I think that's where the Skyliner ends. I've only done it on the Skyliner, so I don't have a great sense of how long it's gonna take to walk, but we shall see. Okay, so you can see the Riviera behind me here. But this resort, Caribbean Beach, is so spread out. It's like all along this lake area, and I'm like getting worried. I don't know where the lobby is. It's broken up. I'm looking at a little map here. I'll put the map behind me. It seems like it's broken up into like different areas. Martinique, Old Port Royal, Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I want to take you. Okay, Trinidad. Okay, Old Port Royal, which is that over there. Seems like it might be where the lobby is. I do not know. Okay, I'm gonna go to the Skyliner station and ask there. Okay, there's landscaping, so you might not be able to hear me. But just in case they say the main icon is just this entire area, awkward selfie. I really don't know. There's just so much here is the problem. Okay, so I was actually reading the map a little bit wrong. The Skyliner station is like way at the far end of Caribbean Beach. So I'm going through like the middle island area to get to the Old Port Royal. And then it seems like the main area. So hopefully that's where the lobby is, which I am required to go to. And also hopefully they can tell me what the icon would be because I still don't have a great idea. Okay, I think I have found where the lobby is finally. All right, so a bit of a surprising answer for this one. Of all of the things here, it's this pineapple fountain. And it was kind of an instant answer from the cast member, and she seemed like she'd been here for a little while, so I'm gonna take this as my icon awkward selfie. Okay. And then I'm debating which is the fastest way back to where I need to go. It's back this way. Yeah, because I need to get to Pop Century and Art of Animation now next on my route here, which is at the Skyliner Station Hub. I think it's gonna be this way. Yeah, definitely gonna be that. So down along this way, get 2 more resorts, and then it's on to the next area. Then we're done with this area, and this area has a lot of stuff, and we've gotten quite a lot done here so far. You know, of all the resorts to have to walk a long way through, this one's very nice. It's nice and varied. I mean, they're all nice, but you can see a Skyliner up ahead, and I don't immediately know where to go, so I'm just kind of following this because I'm going to the station that's at the end of this. Look at that bird right there. I'm not usually one for bird watching, but is that a cardinal? Oh, where'd it go? Okay, got distracted. All right, here we go. Back to the Skyliner. Skyliner, yeah, that's what we're doing. Well, I've taken a bit of a roundabout way, but that is the end station that we were trying to get to. We made it. All right, good news is I've made it to Art of Animation, and then Pop Century is just right over there. The bad news is these ones are very similar to All-Star in the sense that there are a bunch of icons to take pictures with. So that's going to be a fun little mini adventure to get all of them. So these ones are probably gonna take a little while, unfortunately. So yeah, you can sort of see it here, but Pop Century is broken up into 4 main areas, I believe. You've got Finding Nemo down there, that's Cars. And then there's also Lion King and one other one that I am forgetting at this very moment. Oh wait, no, Little Mermaid. I just remembered it, Little Mermaid. Okay, so those are the 4 ones we gotta see. All right, so we're gonna start off with the Cars area up ahead, and then we're gonna work our way back through Finding Nemo, Lion King, and then Little Mermaid. This is a bit nostalgic for me because they have the Cars area at California Adventure, but that's one of the only things that they don't really have here is car stuff. And so this is all very cool to see. All right, so I think this is the main icon for the Cars area. Lightning down there, and then this up here. Awkward selfie time. Now, if you listen closely, I believe that is the Beach Boys. I think I hear Mike Love's voice. So I don't know the song immediately, but I know they have a couple Beach Boys songs featured in like car stuff, like covers that they did, like 409. But like first Beach Boys music I've heard. I could be, no, that's definitely Mike Love. Okay. But yeah, seeing this whole area is like a little bit weird because again, I so associate Cars with Disneyland and California Adventure. Yeah, but this is cool. This is a highlight. I did not expect there to be this much. I thought it was just lightning, to be honest. All right, the Cars area is done, and now on to Finding Nemo up ahead. And you know what, over here to represent Art of Animation, I'm going with Mr. Ray up here for my awkward selfie. All right, we've got the Finding Nemo area represented. Now on to, I think Lion King is this way, and Little Mermaid. I am going to start picking up the pace though. All right, I'm now going to head into Animation Hall, which I think also serves as the lobby, which we also have to hit, and then Finding Nemo and Lion King are just a little bit the other way. So even though that lobby was laid out pretty similar to All-Star, like all of the All-Stars pretty much, I would say that was way better. And these ones are all in the same category. They're all in the value tier. There's value, moderate, and deluxe. So All-Star, this, and then Pop Century are value. Caribbean Beach is moderate, and so is Coronado Springs. And then stuff like the Grand Floridian, Polynesian Contemporary, and then the Animal Kingdom Lodge, those are all in the deluxe tier. But yeah, I would say that's a much nicer lobby. It has like cool drawings on the walls. That was cool. I was very glad that I went in there. Nice lobby, Art of Animation. Now heading over to, I think it's Lion King up next. Right, well, we are now here, as you could definitely tell from Simba, at the Lion King area. So yeah, here we go, awkward selfie. Awesome, okay, just the Little Mermaid, and then we are done with this whole area. it was cool, but it's taken a while. So yeah, with this whole challenge of visiting all the Disney resorts, I was starting to get a little bit worried, and then I'm not worried anymore. Okay, did you get my very dumb Lion King joke? Alrighty, so past Timon, Pumbaa, and Simba, and now on to the elephant graveyard apparently. Okay, we'll say hi to Scar. Stay prepared, man. Stay prepared. All right, well, if you can probably tell, we've made it to the Little Mermaid area. There's Sebastian over there, and then King Triton is up there, and then of course, just on the other side of the pool, you can sort of see her. There's Ariel. I don't super want to go all the way over there because I'd have to go through the pool area. So I'm gonna take the picture next to Ursula. All right, I guess I'm a poor unfortunate soul, but here we go, another awkward selfie. All right, another one in the books. 18, 19, what are we on? Who knows at this point. But we are now officially, with that picture, done with the Art of Animation Resort. We have successfully made it through now to Pop Century, and Pop Century is set up in a similar way. I think that one is also going to take us a little while. All right, now you can see Pop Century over here across the way, and that's where we're headed to right now. And that one I believe is themed after like specific decades. So 60s, 50s, 70s, I want to say. I don't exactly know, but I'm sure I will find out once I see signage over there. Alrighty, so as you can see, I put on a hat because the sun honestly was getting a little too bright, sort of defeating me a little bit. However, it's about 3:30 right now, and I've sat down on a bench just outside of Pop Century, and I know it's got a lot of things, a lot of icons to see in here. However, I've reached a bit of a point in this challenge, and the same thing kind of happened when I did the Star Tours video, where it's like, it's 3:30 right now, and I've been to 20 of the locations I need to see, 3 parks plus the 17 resorts, and I need to see 18 more, including this one actually, and I'm pretty much like just slightly over the halfway point, and that's like a little bit terrifying given how long it feels like I'm doing this, and that's just a little concerning. I'm definitely getting tired. The motivation is waning a little bit. We still have left the entirety of the Seven Seas Lagoon area, so right by Magic Kingdom. There are the 2 Fort Wilderness cabins and tents, which I don't really know how we're gonna see. And then there's like all the resorts around Disney Springs, and that's a lot left. It feels doable again, but it's just a lot left. I'm no longer like, I don't know if I should say this, but I'm not extremely worried about like not being able to finish anymore. It's just, I'm just tired. I've been out here in the heat doing this for a while, so I might have like a longer dinner break or something like that, just to give myself a little bit of respite. And then I'm gonna go take a look at Pop Century now, maybe fill up my water bottle, and then we're gonna head over to Disney Springs after that, I think. But just honestly wanted to report this challenge. Again, I'm having fun. It's less repetitive than Star Tours. It's more physically tiring, but it's less repetitive. And I wanted to honestly say that because yes, this is fun so far. But I've seen a lot of things, and I am definitely feeling the heat, getting a little exhausted. Okay, I see a large blue up ahead. I think it's blue. Yeah, that looks like blue. And gonna definitely get a awkward selfie by that. Seems like the main icon of this little pool area. But this one actually might be laid out a little differently than I thought. I think I'm gonna head to the lobby now, and then I'm gonna ask a cast member, because if there's a clear main icon, if it's just this blue, then I'm in the clear. If there's a clear main one, I'm fine. Then that works. I don't need to go to all of them. But for Art of Animation, each one was pretty clearly its own main icon that somebody might say it is. So I don't need to go to every area of each resort. It's just if there is a debate about the main icon, I need to go to each one. But anyway, awkward selfie here with the gigantic blue. There we go. All right, now I'm gonna head over to the lobby, and hopefully they just say it's this one, and then I can be done with Pop Century earlier than I thought I would be able to be. Actually, the sign behind me might be more iconic. I've seen this in a lot of places. I think I'm gonna get this as well. Awkward selfie. Feel like that actually might be the main one, if I'm being honest, because I've seen that in a lot of places. So yeah, we'll find out inside. All right, so I'm here in the lobby, which I think is nicer than the All-Star ones. I do prefer the Art of Animation. And the cast member said, yes, the sign out front is the main icon. He said also maybe this mural, so I'm gonna do one with Mickey. Sorry, Minnie. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Minnie. Well, with that, Pop Century is complete. Now we can head over to Disney Springs. There should be a bus directly there from where we're going. So I think that's the best move. All right, here we go. It's just out this way. All right, so I've made it to Disney Springs here, and I never actually had a clear plan about like what I was gonna do when I was gonna get here. I don't need to ride a ride because it's not a park, and I don't need to take a picture with an icon or visit the lobby because it's not a resort. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm going to get a snack here, probably something cold because it's very warm out, and then I'm going to pick back up again and then start with the resorts that are like in this area. All right, I successfully acquired the snack I was looking for, and then I'm gonna walk over to Saratoga Springs probably in a little bit. I think that's probably the best route. There's 4 resorts over here. There's Saratoga Springs, Old Key West, and then the 2 Port Orleanses, Port Orleans Riverside, Port Orleans French Quarter, and I think I'm gonna hit those next. So I'm exiting Disney Springs now, and then I'm gonna walk over to Saratoga, which is not that far. It's only a few minute walk from where I am now. But as I was passing this, I realized one of my favorite YouTube videos ever was Eddie Burback and Ted Nivison's Visiting All Rainforest Cafes video, and if you look right behind me, there's one, and then I passed the other one that's here over in Animal Kingdom a little way back at the beginning of the day, and I got some footage of it. However, I think that's cool that this video that I'm doing right now was very much inspired by that Visiting Every Rainforest Cafe video, and I've been to 2 of them here. I think 1/9 of all of them, because there's 18. And then I've also been to, I think, a couple others throughout my life, but I think I found that very interesting that was right there. Anyway, I'm walking over to Saratoga Springs now for resort number 19, I want to say. I think it's the 19th one. Something like that. So one thing that I have not mentioned until this very moment is that Saratoga Springs technically has 2 areas. It has the main Saratoga Springs, and then it has Treehouse Villas, which is like a decent bit away. I may take one of the bus stops from the main Saratoga Springs area over to Treehouse Villas, and then I think the app shows that you can walk between Treehouse Villas and Old Key West, which I'm going to try to do if I can, but you know, who knows? I didn't think you could. And then I think I'm gonna have to bring the bus, get the bus back here, and then get the bus to French Quarter and Riverside for the Port Orleans resorts. And then I'm done with this area. So I've got a plan of action to knock this area out. Let's hope we can do it. All right, we're headed up to Saratoga Springs now. It's just up ahead. We've almost arrived. And I think like worth mentioning at the very least for the sake of this. Today, I have walked more than any other day since arriving here or in Orlando, with one exception, which was the first day that me and my family did the parks. We got 37,000 steps that day because we did all 4 parks in one day. We were trying to get the most out of just the singular day that we had. And I'm at about 28,000 right now. So it is only 4:45. So I do think there is a decent chance this will be a new record here for me. But we shall see. But yeah, that explains a little bit why I was feeling a little bit tired earlier. But anyway, we have now arrived at Saratoga Springs, although I have no idea where the lobby is for this one. So yeah, we can see the first building over here. There's definitely like a common style that I'm noticing between a lot of these. I can't quite put my finger on what exactly it is, but yeah, I think the lobby is like a good bit way down that way. I don't know what the icon would be for this one. For Treehouse Villas, I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be one of the tree houses. I know what it is for Port Orleans Riverside. It's like the main building. I don't know for French Quarter. I know literally nothing about Old Key West. Okay, I took a very roundabout way of getting here, but I think we're like pretty much at the lobby. Sorry, this is like the longest continuous stretch of walking I've done all day without seeing an icon or doing something of some kind. Yeah, also I reapplied sunblock. If I look shinier than normal, that's why. All right, almost to the lobby. I'll show you when we're inside.
I think I figured it out. Oh, Elise says she thinks she figured it out, basically.
All right, the cast member I asked said this painting because of how majestic he looks, so I'm gonna do an awkward picture next to him. Okay, so that is officially the main part of Saratoga Springs all complete. There is like a horse theme going on, which I did not really realize until I came here, but I got the picture with the icon. She's actually specifically said there's no clear icon, and when I was like, in your opinion, she said that horse mural, so I'm like, you know what, okay, fair enough. I might grab a picture with just like a main building, to be honest. Maybe not. I grabbed a picture with a horse statue earlier, which I will put on screen now. Yes, but we are done officially with the main Saratoga Springs Resort. Another one in the books, 21, 22 maybe, something around there. Now I'm gonna take the bus over to the Treehouse Villas area, and this isn't gonna count for another resort. It's just a part of this one, so it's more like getting the second icon, so it's like this half. Headed there now. All right, well, here is the Saratoga Spring. Yeah, looks cool. Actually, I think I'm gonna grab an awkward selfie by this one too, just as like a bonus one, just to see, yeah, just in case that one doesn't officially count for no one who's tracking this. All right, here we go. Awesome, we got it. Okay, and I think that this is like officially a Saratoga, like a spring for like horses? I'm not sure. All right, I got a bus stop part of the way to Treehouse Villas, and now I'm headed over there now. And okay, it's at this point we sort of can get to the question of, do we count Treehouse Villas as its own resort? Because in all essence, it seems to operate as its own resort, but for some reason the app doesn't count it as one. And I'm wondering if that's just because it has the villas portion, it's not connected to another one. I do not know. So for the sake of all the counting and all the numbers that I've done so far for tracking the resorts, I am going to count Treehouse Villas as a part of Saratoga Springs, but I think I'll make the final call in the edit. So if the numbers are off, that will explain why.
Editor Scott here, and it's been a full month since I recorded that last clip. And I've gone back and forth a little bit on it, but I've decided to not count Treehouse Villas as its own resort. So yes, the numbers will continue to be accurate going forward, so back to it. Oh, this is taking so long.
Anyway, Treehouse Villas is now in sight. It's getting really sunny again because the sun is starting to lower, but if you can barely make out over there, you can start to see some tree houses, but we'll get closer. Now, one point in the direction of it not qualifying as an actual resort is it doesn't have its own lobby. I think it's just part of the Saratoga Springs one, to my knowledge at least, from looking at the app, and I guess we'll find out. And for the icon for this one, I asked, it's just going to be one of the Treehouse Villas. But this one I've been excited to see. I'm hoping it's got some like Forest Moon of Endor vibes to it, which I would guess it would. All right, we're in the Treehouse Villas area. You can see one of them over here. One of them over here. This area is very cool. I'm kind of keeping a little bit down because it's, you know, just villas. It's people's residences, at least for the however long they're staying here. This is cool though. It's like, it does feel like such a different vibe. It's also quiet, which is cool. All right, I'll show you a little bit here from my point of view. Yeah, you can just see forest and then the occasional little villa. It certainly looks cool. I like it. There's not really much else for me to see here, except I'm gonna take a picture by this one right by the entrance, and then I'm going to head back to the bus. Alrighty, here we go. Awkward selfie, whatever we're on here. Awesome. Okay, we've got Treehouse Villas in the books, which means the entirety of Saratoga Springs is now complete with that additional awkward selfie. And depending, that might be another resort, depending on what I decide in the edit. I don't think I'm going to decide it is, but we shall see. Now, all that's left to do, head back over to the bus stop and just get to Old Key West. That's the next one. I think I need to take the bus back to Disney Springs and then the bus to Old Key West, and then I might need to do the same thing again for Port Orleans. This area, I thought it'd be more convenient because of the boat, but it's not really great for like, it's like a slow, leisurely transportation. So this area is proving to be more difficult than I thought it would be. But yeah, I'm gonna update you when I'm closer and getting back over to Disney Springs or getting over to the Old Key West Resort. All right, slight change of plans. The bus for Port Orleans is here, so I'm gonna try to catch that one and then go to Old Key West right after pretty much. All right, it is now 6:20 and we finally have arrived at the French Quarter. And now I realized it has been an hour and a half since we entered a new resort. Yeah, this area is just kind of hard to get around. Saratoga Springs was so big, I had to walk around the whole thing to get to the treehouse area. And now it's like I need to get to like 2 or 3 more resorts around this area. Well, actually I have to get to this, Riverside, and then Old Key West. Oh yeah, here's the lobby of the French Quarter. I've been to New Orleans before and they definitely got the theming here. This definitely does feel like, even just that interior, it did definitely feel like New Orleans places. But anyway, the reason this has been so difficult is there's not resort to resort bus transportation. And at the other resorts, that's not really been a problem because I've needed to go to a park in the middle or they've been walkable. But with these ones, they're all kind of close together, but you can't really walk between most of them. You can walk between French Quarter and Riverside, which is what I'm gonna do, but you can't like go between Old Key West and Riverside, for example. So I need to take the bus back to Disney Springs. Basically just do a lot of backtracking. And then I had to go to Treehouse Villas, which is why this whole thing has taken like an hour and a half. Yeah, so that was, we saw the lobby a little bit. I don't know what the icon of this one's gonna be. I'm gonna assume it might be some of the Mardi Gras figures that are around. But let's go and find out. Okay, good news and bad news. One, I spoke to a cast member who was very nice and extremely helpful with telling me the icons. However, she also told me 4. Which means I need to go to 4 different places in this resort because that's the rule that I set for myself. See, we got this statue over here, which I'll get in a second. There's some crocodile statues up ahead. We also have to go to the food court, which apparently looks cool and is right here. And then also the Beignet Cafe. So four places to hit, but she was super nice and helpful. So yeah, all right, here we go. First one, awkward selfie. On to the next one. She just sort of generally said their food court, which is in here. All right, well, I guess I'll take a picture with that thing, these things up here. Alrighty, awkward selfie number 2 time. Okay, now on to the crocodiles statues, and then the Beignet Cafe, and then we'll have these 4 done. At least these ones are not like as spread out as the ones in like the All-Star and Art of Animation ones were. Yes, these seem like they're all in the same area, thank goodness. Although I was getting a little worried when she started listing off a bunch of places. I was like, I need to go all these, but I obviously did not tell her that. But she was, again, super nice and helpful. Ooh, crocodile statues. Okay, you know what? These are fun. I like these. Okay, she said the crocodile statues. I think I can get them all in one picture. Here we go. All right, okay, that's awkward selfie number 3. And then the Beignet Cafe was the last one she said. I don't immediately see that, so I'm gonna need to ask somebody where that is. And then the Beignet Cafe is in the food court that I was just at, so this thing right here. All right, and with that, I've visited all 4 of the icons. I've been to the lobby. French Quarter is officially a completed resort. I needed this one. It's been a while since we've gotten one. All right, this one was easy, fortunately. Riverside, I'm thinking, is also gonna be pretty easy. And then it's like back to Springs, bus to Old Key West, back to Springs, and then I can move on to the next area, which is Fort Wilderness. It feels like we're getting closer. I'm glad French Quarter is easy, but it's a bit of a walk over to Riverside, and where the icon is like the middle of the Riverside like area. So let's head over there now. Okay, so this is French Quarter. This right here is the end of French Quarter, and then way over yonder, to use an expression that has not been used since I used it earlier in this video, that is Riverside. And I will do an update when we reach like the middle area, which is where like the icon part of it is. All right, we have made it to Port Orleans Riverside here, which is also the only one of these resorts that I've actually stayed at. I said I walked by Boardwalk before this, but this is literally the only one that I've ever stayed at. And right behind me, you can see it's a little bit under construction. It was also under construction when I was here. Is, I would say, the main icon of this one, and also, if you can't tell, this one has a river running through it. So I'm going to do my awkward selfie with a little bit of the river in the background and probably that building, because I would say that's what's going to count for Port Orleans Riverside. All right, here we go. Resort number 22 or 23. And we've got it. All right, now just to go into the lobby, and then we can head back to Springs, go to Old Key West, back to Springs, then to the Fort Wilderness area. We are getting close at the very least. Yes, but we just gotta exit out that way anyway, so this is the most efficient way then to also see the lobby. All right, and now we've officially seen the lobby area. Get on a bus all the way back to Disney Springs. Okay, so slight change of plans. I'm now back at Epcot. You can't really see it, but Spaceship Earth is right there. And yeah, the next bus to Springs would not have been for another 15 minutes. And I was like, I don't want to wait till 7 o'clock. So I just jumped on one to Epcot, and I can get to Old Key West from here. And then from Old Key West, I just need to go to one of the parks or Springs, whichever bus comes first, and then I can finally go to Fort Wilderness, and from Fort Wilderness I can go directly to Magic Kingdom. We are like almost out of the Disney Springs tar pit that slowed this down. Again, love Disney Springs, great place, but like the resort area, it's so hard if you're trying to do specifically what I want to do. Very easy to get around otherwise. It's just if you literally want to visit every single resort, it'll take a while. All right, but I'm gonna go get the bus to Old Key West now. Finally. All right, I have no idea if I got off at the right bus stop. However, I do know that I've finally made it to the Old Key West Resort. I've been trying to go here for like hours at this point. And it's like, it's not even like a super cool resort that I was like super into seeing. It's just like, it's on the list. I need to get to it. And yeah, I'm very happy that I'm finally here. Ooh, there's a cool sand castle thing over by the pool. Know nothing about this resort whatsoever except from Key West, knowing that Key West is like Islands by Florida from Jimmy Buffett music. Yeah, I'm gonna go find the lobby. I'll spare you me just being lost at this resort. And then we can go to the lobby. We can find the icon, and then we can get out of the Disney Springs resort area, finally. All right, I have made it to the lobby area. I'm gonna show it off, and then hopefully the icon of this one is close by. Okay, so the cast member told me that it's gonna be the lighthouse that I see right up ahead, which is close by, fortunately, so should be an easy one, hopefully. All right, I'm gonna see what the best angle I can get is, and yeah, we can get an easy one finally. All right, I don't think I'm gonna do much better than this. Another awkward photo here. All right, we got it. I believe, I just checked, that was resort 22 of 33, and then that was location 26. So what we've got left is we have the 2 Fort Wilderness resorts, which are right next to each other, and then we have the 9 resorts around the Seven Seas Lagoon, which is the lake that is right in front of Magic Kingdom, and then we have Magic Kingdom itself, and then we are all done. I'm going to head to the Fort Wilderness areas next. Well, I have to go to a intermediary park or Disney Springs first, and then I'm gonna go to the Fort Wilderness areas, and then I think I'm gonna go to Magic Kingdom, and then I'll share some more of my plans once we get a little closer to that. All right, I don't have my microphone on, so hopefully you can hear me, but I'm headed to Fort Wilderness now. I'm at Disney Springs again for the final time, and I'm hoping to board my penultimate bus of the night to Fort Wilderness, knock out those 2 resorts, and then I have to get the Magic Kingdom area, but I am starting to run against the clock a little bit because there's 4 hours left until midnight, which obviously is when the day switches, so I need to get it done by then. And there are 12 locations left, and I still need to eat dinner. I still need to do something in Magic Kingdom. We're a bit running against the clock, but fortunately all the resorts around Magic Kingdom are very close together. All right, it's about 8:10 right now, and the situation is looking dire. I missed the bus to Fort Wilderness by like 5 seconds, which is a little bit annoying. And I might need to wait like 20 minutes for another one. I'm just at the bus stop right now, and I kind of needed that time. I have a little bit under 4 hours to visit 11 resorts, do something in Magic Kingdom, and eat somewhere for dinner. Now granted, I'm gonna eat fast, but that still takes like 20 minutes, and so will whatever I need to do in Magic Kingdom. That'll probably take at least 20-30 minutes. And the monorails are gonna be crowded this time of night, so we're cutting it close to the midnight deadline here. I was hoping to be done earlier, but I'm not thinking that's going to happen. I think we're going to be done between 11 and midnight, so it's gotten dire. All right, so you can probably barely see me, but at long last, we have made it to Fort Wilderness. And this one is a little weird. It's like cabins and tents, and there's 2 of them. And they're a little bit far apart, like one for the cabins, one for the tents. And I'm hoping that the icon is just like the main building where the lobby is in, which I'm headed to now. Hello. Couple questions. All right, so there was like pretty much nobody in there except a couple cast members who helped me out. And this is the lobby for both. So I made it to the lobby for both of them. This also is going to serve as the icon for the cabins. So awkward selfie. Okay, we've got that one. So that's officially Fort Wilderness Cabins complete. Now the tents. I just need to board a bus, which is the same direction as Magic Kingdom, fortunately, which is where I'm headed to next. And then I'm gonna hop off at one of the campgrounds, just take a selfie there, essentially do an awkward one, and then get on the next bus so I can make it over to Magic Kingdom. And then I can work on working my way through the 9 resorts plus Magic Kingdom over there that I need to get through. So that's gonna be interesting. So yeah, at the moment I'm just here at the bus station waiting. At Magic Kingdom, my plan is, because I can't ride any rides, they're too far and they'll in the back and they'll take too long. Same thing with eating there. So I'm going to meet Mickey. He's right at the front of the park in Town Square Theater. And at the moment when I last checked, he had a 5-minute wait. I think I can be in and out really fast. And then that will, meeting a character does qualify. That's in the rules. So I can meet Mickey and then get on out and then just use the monorail to get through all the 9 really close ones. And again, a lot of them are paired together. That's the plan for the rest of the day. It is 8:36 right now. I really wish I had not missed that bus. But I think I'm gonna try to be out of here and on my way to Magic Kingdom by 9 at the very least. I want to try to make it there. It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight. Alrighty, so you can barely see it in the background, but there's this little restaurant in here that is specific to Fort Wilderness Campgrounds. That counts. Little selfie. Awesome. That technically counts. We've got that. All right, now I'm gonna head to Magic Kingdom. The bus just dropped me off at Magic Kingdom. I'm headed in now. The next thing you're probably gonna see me doing is meeting Mickey, but 2 hours, 45 minutes to go. I'm gonna quickly jump in. He's only got a 5-minute wait. See if we can count that for Magic Kingdom and then just start grinding through all the resorts. Hello, Mickey. It's an honor to meet you. So Mickey, today I have been to every single Disney resort outside of London Magic Kingdom, and I'm making a bit of a documentary here, and I think we need a world-class celebrity to feature in it. And I only know one of those with a nice, reasonable wait time. So I'm quite excited for you to feature here. Can we get a picture? Yeah. Link arms. It's an honor to meet you, Mickey. Nice firm handshake. You. All right, so I've just very awkwardly met Mickey Mouse, and now I just need to head to the 9 resorts that are here, and then I will have successfully completed this very long challenge. A reminder, I've been doing this since 8 a.m. this morning. All right, so you might be able to see it here. Yes, so this is essentially everywhere we are going. So the resort monorail will get us there to our 9 remaining locations, but a lot of them are like paired together. So we really only have Grand Floridian, Polynesian, Wilderness Lodge, and then the Contemporary down over there. I feel better now that we're like here and we've already been to Magic Kingdom, and I can sort of see all the resorts that we have left, but still feel like this could be cutting it close. I'm still not 100% sure, and I also might need to stop to eat at some point. All right, we are here successfully at the Contemporary, and this over here, this big mural, is probably going to be the closest we're going to get to an icon, so. All right, another awkward selfie. Now I just need to find, technically, where the lobby is. Awesome, we've officially seen the main lobby area here. All right, the main part of the Contemporary Resort is done. By the way, there's fireworks happening, so if you see or hear that, that's what it is. We now have to head to the Bay Lake Tower. I don't know what the icon's gonna be for this one. It might be the outside of the building, to be honest. I certainly hope it is, to be honest. And then just gotta get to the lobby as well. Okay, here's sort of the little bit of the lobby area. It's not technically the lobby. They told me to go to the top floor to take a look at something called the Villain's Lair. So I don't know what that is. They said you need DVC, which is Disney Vacation Club, to enter, but I can just talk to them. I honestly don't know. It is 9:45. I'm a little bit stressed and tired. Yeah, so hopefully I'm able to just quickly go in and take a look at this, and then I can head over to the other areas that I need to hit, the other 7 resorts. Oh no. Very loud music, but I think this is what they're referring to. There's a bunch of villains over here. Okay, awkward selfie complete. Okay, I need to move. Still 7 left. Here we go. Okay, the cast members inside the Bay Lake Tower were extremely confused by what I was doing, which is fair, because why is somebody speed walking around at 9:40 at night, popping into a resort for 2 seconds, and then instantly leaving? Yeah, okay, but now I'm gonna get back on the monorail, see which one we can head to next. Sorry, the fireworks are very loud. I'm thinking well, there's 3 main areas left. There's Wilderness Lodge, which has 3 of the resorts. There is Polynesian, and then Grand Floridian. That's what we gotta do left. Oh my gosh. We can do it. We're so close. We're so close. Oh god. Okay, fireworks. Sorry, my hair's crazy. Okay, fireworks are done. It's 9:50. Still got more to head to. The monorails are gonna start getting busy because most people just stay for happily ever after, and then they leave. It's so close. Oh, by the way, I mentioned this earlier. I am now at 38, almost 39,000 steps. I beat my record of most steps in a day because I'm doing this extremely dumb challenge. All right, hopefully this monorail can take us to the next resort. Only 7 left. I'm so tired. Okay, so for the 7 resorts that we have left technically to visit, Wilderness Lodge is like 3 of them. I think it's set up in the same way as Animal Kingdom Lodge. Sorry, I'm tired. Polynesian has 2, Grand Floridian has 2. It's about 10 o'clock right now, and I'm gonna take the bus over to Wilderness Lodge because it's the only one that the monorail doesn't go to, I believe. And then I'm gonna knock that out. I think I'm gonna eat there. It's like 10 o'clock. I've not eaten since the milkshake at Disney Springs a while ago, and I've not eaten a proper meal since like 11:30. So I'm going to eat there really fast, and then I'm just gonna get the bus back and then monorail over, or even just walk, to be honest, from the TTC, the Transportation and Ticket Center, over to Polynesian and Grand Floridian just to finish them off. Never mind, I forgot that the bus stops for the resorts is back at Magic Kingdom, not over here at the Transportation and Ticket Center. So I'm going to go get the Polynesian and the Grand Floridian, and I'm gonna go back to Magic Kingdom, and then a Wilderness Lodge is gonna end it off here for us. And then, because I can get the bus there, and then that's where I'm gonna close it out. All right. Gotta walk back through security at the TTC. Okay, this is making for a rather dramatic ending, but I don't want to take the monorail because I think it's too much of a risk at this hour with everybody leaving the most popular theme park in the world, Magic Kingdom. So I'm going to walk to the Polynesian and then walk to the Grand Floridian, and then I can, from there, I think get the bus there. I don't know. I need to find the walking path though. That's the plan at the moment. Who cares that I've already walked almost 40,000 steps? Let's go for 50. We need to get all the resorts. Alrighty, we're on the walk again down to the Polynesian. All right, we've made it to this one. This one's like right next to the Transportation Ticket Center, but the Grand Floridian is a bit of a walk still. All right, so we gotta see the main Polynesian and then the bungalows, and then these 2 will be done. And I think Grand Floridian has villas, and then Wilderness Lodge has a couple things. All right, I've never been here before, so hopefully I can navigate in the dark. Oh, there's like a main building. You can't see anything. It's dark. Okay, we are, or rather I am, right there. Need to go down here, and then the Grand Floridian is like up this way. I think it's the same lobby, so I think I'm gonna go up to the bungalows first. And then we'll see the main resort. So I think I'm going this direction. It's dark. Hopefully I can see something. Okay, it was like right here. We made it. I can see it. You can see the light illuminated from it. These are the Polynesian bungalows. There's a bunch of them. Just sort of look at the lights coming down this way. And this is a resort, technically. It's marked as one of the ones in the app. So I'm gonna get a picture with this one. And then it shares the same lobby. And then I need to figure out what the icon is for the main Polynesian, but we'll figure it out. These pictures have gotten increasingly worse, but awkward selfie you can barely see. Okay, we got that one. Now up to the main Polynesian. Here we go. It's like 10:15 now, I think. We're running against the clock. I just gotta come back here when I can actually see and it's light out, but it looks cool, even dark. I have no idea where I'm going. I'll figure it out. So up there is the Grand Floridian where we're going next. This all is the Polynesian, this big dark blob that you can't really see anything of. I'm gonna talk quicker because my phone is pretty much out of storage space. Yeah, I'm going up this way. I'll show recording when I get to the lobby. We okay, made it to the lobby area. This looks very cool. Okay, I'm gonna grab water and then I'm gonna find where the icon is, which I think I know what it is. Okay, I'm gonna risk the monorail to the Grand Floridian because the monorail station is where the icon I need to go to is. I think I'm making cast members think I'm insane. I'm running up tired, asking random questions and then leaving. Okay, let's go into the station, finish off Polynesian, head to Grand Floridian. We're so close. Okay, so believe it or not, you can't really see. I believe this A-frame like roof area is our icon, so awkward selfie. Oh wait, it's in the background. I completely messed it up. I was like, that doesn't look right. You can kind of see them, that thing. And the Polynesian is now complete. Just Grand Floridian, in theory, and Wilderness Lodge, but Grand Floridian is gonna be what we're hitting next. I think we've done this with minimal backtracking. I'm so tired. Okay. I hope I'm in the right area. I see a light coming. I think it's the monorail. All right, I'm the only one waiting here for it. I don't know if this one stops though. Or if this is the one that just goes all the way through. It does stop. Oh my gosh, I feel bad. It's just me here. All right, here we go. Grand Floridian, and you know what? That's an impressive opener. Oh wow. You know, I'd love for this to be our final destination, but it's not. Okay, so we still have to head down to the first floor at lobby level, and then we have to find the main icon for this one, and I don't know what that's gonna be, and then we have to make our way over to the villas, which I don't know if they have their own separate lobby. I really hope that they don't have their own separate lobby, because that would that'd mean I'd have to go somewhere else. Oh, sorry, I'm so tired. It's almost like 10:30. We're cutting it so close. I know it doesn't seem like it because we just have one left, but I have to get the bus. It's tight. Magic Kingdom gets so busy when it lets out. Okay, down to the first floor. There's a lot of fancy people here, and I'm running around like I've just crawled out of a ditch. Oh my God. Okay, we can do this. Home stretch. Okay, here's the lobby level. We're here. Okay, now to see icons. Okay, these two nice older men told me some fun facts, and then also that they said that this staircase is probably the main thing. And I'm actually gonna go onto it. The first time I'll be able to go onto one of the icons, I'm gonna be halfway up. Okay, Grand Floridian's complete now for the Grand Floridian villas, which are out this way. Okay, the Grand Floridian looks very cool. Very nice. I've actually stayed at the Coronado in California, which is like what it was pretty much modeled after. So it looks a little bit familiar. Looks very cool. Heading to the villas now, and then I need to head back to the monorail, get back to Magic Kingdom, and then close it out at Wilderness Lodge. It's almost 10:30 now. The same nice cast members. There were two older men, and they told me that up here there are some like pictures of like the history of this that is gonna make it the main icon. I'm gonna go for that because they told me, so I'm gonna head there. All right, we're so close. Okay, this does seem to have its own lobby area with some penguins hanging out. Oh, well, that's very cool. But we're here, so successfully got in the lobby. They said those pictures were on the 4th floor. Okay, they said those portraits are over here. I'm not seeing where they might be. This just looks like regular rooms, if I'm not mistaken. So I think I need to ask somebody. I think I need to head back down and ask a cast member. Because there's a lot of buildings here, so I just assumed it'd be the lobby building, but I guess it's not. And they told me about it, so I need to do that as my icon. Oh God, okay. But just this, it's 10:30 now, just this, and then I'm gonna monorail back, Magic Kingdom, get to Wilderness Lodge, and close it out there. Oh my gosh. This is such a specific thing to find. Oh God, okay, I it's so late at night, I'm not seeing any cast members out and about. I might need to go back to the main area to see if anybody knows where these are. Maybe it's a different building. Am I in the right spot? I just have no idea. Okay, I'm gonna get, you can see it behind me here, an awkward selfie right here. And then I'm gonna walk through the entire 1st floor. If I do not see these portraits, then that means they're referring to some other area, and it would be impossible for me because this building is the villas, I think. So if I look through the entire 4th floor, these portraits are not on the wall, then it's fine that I couldn't find it because they're just not there, and they must have been directing me to a different area. But if I do find them, I'll use that as my icon photo. Okay, well, this is, you know, a very cool site. I wish we could end here, but no, still Wilderness Lodge. Also, to be clear, I do get the irony that I'm complaining about walking around Walt Disney World for the entire day. Overall, this has been very fun. I'm just tired. I've been here since 8 a.m. and I'm trying to find random things in these resorts, which hopefully, you know, I'm gonna comb through the 4th floor, don't see it, counting this resort is complete with that other, the fountain or the exterior will count as the icon photo. If I do find it, I'll take that as a picture, and then I'm gonna book it over to the monorail, head back to Magic Kingdom, and get the 3 over at Wilderness Lodge in the next hour and 20 minutes. I am really up against the clock here. Oh my God. Okay, and I'm gonna be quiet because I'm just in a hallway. There are portraits here, but they're like more modern. I don't know, they're like of the contemporary as it is today. I don't know if this is what they were referring to. Okay, they're all the same portraits, counting it. If that's what they're referring to. If not, we'll take the one outside and say there was something here. Okay, I'm going to the Grand Floridian. My phone is so close to being out of storage space. Okay, just gotta make it to the bus. I'm at Magic Kingdom, by the way. Just gotta make it to the bus and then go over to Fort Wilderness Lodge. That's not what it's called. Wilderness Lodge, just generally. I am so unbelievably exhausted. Okay, please. One more bus. There's been so many buses today, but this should be the last one. Well, except for the one back home. Bus stop number 10. Oh, Fort Wilderness and Wilderness Lodge are at the same spot. You can see it right there. I'm so tired. One more resort, one more bus. Oh my God. Alrighty. All right, final bus stop. And this one actually really reminds me so far of Animal Kingdom Lodge. This little area, at least, we're getting off the bus, which is funny. You know, we started with like an animal forest themed lodge and we're ending with a animal forest themed lodge. I truly did not plan this. Into the lobby we go. All right, my phone is almost dead. I'm not much further. I'm hungry and I'm tired, but I'm so happy because I have been to every single Disney resort lobby now coming here. Still not every single resort, still gotta get the villas, but oh my goodness, this is massive. All right, let's take a look around the final main lobby. Wow, this is, I think outside of like the Contemporary, this might be the biggest one. I don't know, I'm like struggling to capture it all here on camera. All right, well, we've got Boulder Creek Villas, one other villa, and then the main Wilderness Lodge proper, and I'm gonna get an awkward selfie. I think this might be the icon for this one, at the very least the at night icon, but I am going to go ask a cast member so I can find the last few ones, and I'm not sure if the other villas have lobbies. We shall see. All right, I'm still gonna go over to Boulder Ridge, but this totem pole Catherine said would represent it. So awkward selfie over here. All right, and then the next one is very close by. It's just this fireplace up ahead. Okay, so fireplace, me, and we've got our second to last awkward selfie. We've got Boulder Ridge done. We have Wilderness Lodge proper done. Just Copper Creek is our final resort. Okay, again, you can barely see me, but to this dark blank thing you can't see, that is Wilderness Lodge proper. And this also dark blank thing you can't see, that is the Boulder Ridge. Now just the Copper Creek Villas is our final stop on this list. And then we will be done. And the icon that she said for this one that I need to go get a picture with is a geyser, a dormant geyser will be ending us off. Ooh, you can kind of see me. Okay, this resort is like totally deserted. There's a completely empty pool. Everything is gone. However, there's one thing still here, and that is the dormant geyser. At least it's dormant right now because I'm here too late. It is 11:14. You can see a little bit of the geyser area right over here, and I'm going to get my final awkward selfie. And with that, I have been to the Copper Creek Villas at Wilderness Lodge, which also means I have been to every single Disney resort, all 4 parks plus Disney Springs in one day. Yes! I'm so happy. Oh my God, there were so many points where I thought this would not be possible. Okay, I'm gonna head inside Wilderness Lodge to end things off, but I am so happy. Okay, I'm now here on the 5th floor of the Wilderness Lodge Resort, the final resort that I visited today to end things off a little bit here. So every single resort, every single park, and plus Disney Springs all in one day. I feel extremely proud of this, but this was very tiring. I started at 8 a.m. and it is 11:18 right now. So this came very close to failing, because if it had hit midnight, I would not have been able to continue. It would have not been within one day. So many things went wrong. I missed so many buses. I definitely could have done this significantly more efficiently. But I feel very proud of this. I sort of made up my own rules for like what counted for this challenge, but I stuck to them. I visited every single icon. I feel like I have at least some kind of sense of every single resort now. And I also feel like I've gained a new appreciation for Walt Disney World. For so long, I've just done the rides. That's sort of all I've done. And getting to see all of these different resorts, seeing all of the guests enjoying themselves, seeing how varied they were, seeing all that there was to offer, and how much theming was present, really made me realize that this is not just a collection of parks. This is Walt Disney World. And with that, I am going to leave it off here. That is going to be it for today. Thank you for watching, and Nate, I will see you on Monday.